You're listening to Wildilla, the show where we talk about what's going on in game and some of the news, and you might even hear what me and Brandon are doing in game. You're listening to Wildilla. I'm Chris.
And I'm Brandon.
And we're coming back to you. And this time we're going to talk about an add-on that we like to use, a class, and we're going to talk about a quick dungeon. What do y'all think?
I think it sounds good.
Alright, so I'm going to talk about Tom Tom. It's just a small one, but it is a big help for people because a lot of other add-ons uses it. So now TomTom is a personal navigation assistant in World of Warcraft. It's very simple, but provides a nice set of functionality. Some of the major features that it offers is set waypoints via command or by clicking on the world map. It's a draggable coordinate display with customizable accuracy, and it can be hidden or locked. The player and cursor coordinates on the world map can be hidden. A floating crazy taxi style arrow that points you to your destination. So if you are looking to go somewhere, you can set your coordinates there and it will tell you how to get there.
Yeah, the arrow just kind of points you in the right direction.
Yeah. Now show a waypoint that points you toward your corpse for easy recovery, which does help you a lot, especially in Classic when you have to run so far away, and you'll just be running, and then you just look at the arrow and it says, hey, it's over here. You might not be paying much attention. And then it also can set waypoints by clicking on quest objective POIs on the world map and watch frame.
POI is points of interest?
Yeah, well, I should have said that. I'm sorry. Now, in addition, you can use the /wait command to add and reset waypoints. In order to overcome conflicts with the cartographer, /wait command, you can also use /tway to access TomTom's waypoint command. So, alright, well that was the quick one for today.
And TomTom is used by a ton of different add-ons.
Yeah, a ton of them.
So, it's just a great one to get.
Like any questing add-on you might use, it will probably more likely use TomTom. And then just a bunch of other ones.
So, yeah, it's a really good one to get.
So, if your add-on is not working and you think it might need TomTom or coordinates, then it's probably because you haven't downloaded TomTom.
Yep.
Alright, well, let's move on to a class. I'm going to start off with your favorite. One of your favorites, anyways.
Oh, it's probably my favorite class. My favorite class overall is probably a Druid. And just because I just love a Druid.
Oh, yeah. And
They can...
The females are cute. Well, depends on which one.
They are.
Yeah.
But to me, I don't know, Druids are just so versatile. I mean...
Yeah. We're going to talk about the races. Now, the races that can be Druids. Now, for the Alliance or Knight, only Night Elves can play Druids. And the Hordes only Tauren can be Druids.
Yes. And a Druid can wear cloth and leather armor. Leather being the highest they can wear. But they can wear cloth and leather armor starting at level 1. Yeah. So you don't have to level up to be able to use cloth and leather armor. To me... Just kind of a quick overview before we kind of go into some of the things about a Druid. They're the most versatile class in the game. Their ability, they can fulfill any role in the game, and including ranged DPS, which Paladins cannot do.
Oh, yeah.
So Paladins can heal and DPS and tank, and melee DPS, but they can't range DPS.
Yeah.
So a Druid can do any of that.
Yeah, Druid can... You put it on, make a Druid, and you can just be anything you want to be in the game. You want to be tank, you're tank. If you want to be ranged DPS, you're ranged DPS. If you want to be melee DPS, you're melee DPS. If you want to be healer, you're healer.
Yep. Now, mind you, they're not going to be the top choice for any of that stuff because they're not the top of the class in any of that stuff. For instance, a tank, a warrior is always going to be your better choice for a tank, but a druid can do it.
Yeah, but once you do make your paladin, your paladin's going to be the better choice.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. They can heal, but priests are going to be your top choice, or paladin is going to be your top choice for healing. Because a druid, again, they're just a jack of all trades. They can do anything. They're not the top of the line as far as that, but they can do it in a pinch. And believe me as a druid, I've changed specs probably at sometimes 3, 4, 5, and 6 times a rate. So it's just they're not the best choice. But if you have somebody that's well versed in a druid, they can take that role, and I'll guarantee you that if I'm tanking and you have a warrior tanking, I can tank just as good as that warrior can.
Now, if you play retail, they have the guardian specialization, but in Vanilla WoW, it doesn't have a guardian specialization. Now, the 3 specializations or specs you can do is balance, feral, and restoration. Now, balance is the ranged DPS specialization for druids, but it can also act as a versatile off-healer in most situations. So despite not performing well in PvE, it's a fairly strong choice in PvP.
Well, and what that means is you're doing a lot of DPS, but you also are spec'd where you can heal because you're mainly a caster in that DPS. So your healing spells, you'll go into the healing tree a little bit to get a few things out of it, so you will be able to heal. It's what they call. I mean, you can do so many cookie cutter specs with a druid that it's unreal. It's balance is great. They have, like he said, there's 3 different classes you can choose from. Balance is your caster. Feral.
That's your tank class.
Yep. Tanking. That's for your tanking spec as well as your melee DPS spec. They have both survivability. And depending on your choices, they can fill both roles, either a DPS or a tank. So, I mean, you're either going to be a bear or a cat. Bear is your tank DPS or your tank spec. Cat is your DPS melee spec. So, with that being said,
well, whenever I think of a cat, I also think of rogues because they can prowl, sneak up behind you, and just claw the hell out of you.
Oh yeah. I mean, they also use combo points.
Yeah,
just like a rogue does.
Oh yeah.
So
they just don't use the poisons and stuff like the rogue does.
But they're very viable for a melee DPS. I've seen some cat DPS do nasty stuff, but I've always liked the tank. But I can do any of it.
Yeah. But I'm gonna let you talk about what you're really good at, and that's restoration.
Oh, healing. Yeah. Oh, by far. Druids, they're not the best healers, people say. I like a druid because to me, it used to be like 3 buttons, and because you overheal, because they have heal over time, which is a tickable heal. It just heals you every 2 seconds for a certain amount of health. But to me, they are the best raid healers because they heal more than one person at a time, and I love restoration. I absolutely love it. You're keeping people alive, and you have so many things that you can use as a healer. Because you can also throw in a couple of wraths where you're also DPSing the boss. You might even need to do a little bit of crowd control with a cyclone. You can do that. Yeah. But my favorite thing is they turn into a tree. So you're just a walking tree, and you walk slower. No, let me tell you, you do walk slower as a tree when you do that, but it doesn't matter because you're a healer, and you don't have to worry about anybody killing you. That's for sure. I fought a dude one day, and we had to quit fighting because he couldn't kill me because as a healer, I had so much spirit that I never ran out of mana. Like, my mana was ticking faster than I could spend it. So, I love healers. Classic raid heals, classic WoW druid healers. to me, are the best.
Now, I want to go ahead and move on to some of the resources that are used by druids, like the bear form. They require rage in order to do all their
Abilities.
Thank you. The cat form, just like the rogues, they use energy and combo points. The moonkin form uses mana, and also the druid form uses mana, which is your range DPS and your healer. So when you're gearing up, you're going to want, for balance or restoration, you're going to want to find intellect gear. For feral, which is both your cat and your bear, you want to look for agility and strength for those.
And agility is really nice because agility helps you dodge, and that's one big thing that a druid does, because they use leather armor and it's not mail like a warrior, or it's not metal, it's just leather. They have a higher chance to dodge, and agility really helps you dodge. So that's a really good one to have, because your druid tanks are awesome too. Don't get me started. I love a druid all around.
Now, some of the weapons they can use in Classic, druids can use daggers, fist weapons, maces, both one- and two-handed, and staves.
Yeah. I personally, I like to run with a mace, a staff, as a druid.
Well, it depends on which one you're...
He says it does. I just like a staff, period. Because I'm Donatello, a Ninja Turtle.
Well, if you're a kitty, you want to take daggers or fist weapons, right?
Yeah, because it's faster.
Yeah.
But the slower the weapon, the harder it hits.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's correct on. You can go with fist weapons or daggers. You can't dual wield them.
Yeah.
But you can have a main hand, offhand. So sometimes that's nice. Now, with trainers for druids, I'm going to talk about the Alliance Druid trainers. They're in different places. It's all pretty easy to find. You have Denetherion, which is in Darnassus. You have Valerian Nightwing, which is also in Darnassus. You have Golheim the Hooded, which is in Felwood. You have Cal. He's in Teldrassil. You have Loganar in Moonglade. You have Maldron in Stormwind. Mardit Strongoak, also in Teldrassil. Methringil Bearwalker. Now, some of these names, I may be butchering them, but it sounds good to me. He's in Darnassus.
They're probably used to it, my other podcast.
Sheldress Moontree. He's in Stormwind. And Theradran is also in Stormwind. So you have trainers everywhere except for Ironforge. Don't go to Ironforge as a druid because they don't like you.
They got 10 trainers, where the Horde has 7, which is Gart and Mistrunner and Mulgore, Genia Rune Totem and Mulgore, Janos Lighthoof and Feralis, Loganar and Moonglade. Then you got Kim Wildmane, Shield Rune Totem, and Tarak Rune Totem, all 3 in Thunder Bluff.
Yep. Just something that I wanted to drop earlier that I didn't. A few things, like for a druid, for instance, a couple of professions that's probably good for them, just because they are what they are. Skinning and leatherworking, because that's their leather armor. And another one that's really good for them would be mining and engineering. And just because mining and engineering is good for just about anybody. Some of the things you can make with engineering are just out of this world. But I really like skinning and leatherworking, just because they can make their own armor. And some of the self-made armor is better than any drop that you can get.
And herbalism on that one race.
If you're a Tarn,
yeah,
you can choose herbalism because you get a bonus for herbalism. So you could go herbalism with them as well. And it's really nice once you get later on in WoW, if it ever came out for Classic, if they ever let you fly, you have a bird form later on. That is your flying ability.
The /cheat.
And
I used to go around herb and something would be hitting me and I'd just fly away.
Yeah, you can stay in bird form and do herbalism. So you can just flying around as a bird picking herbs, and it's really mean because it's way faster than anybody else. So that's just something to think about later on, or in retail.
All right, now what we're going to do is we're going to talk about a quick dungeon. We're not going to stick with it like as long as my past ones because I've already done them one, and we're going to go ahead and redo them because I got him here to actually make it sound better. And he will actually have experiences that he can talk about in those.
So the first dungeon you're wanting to talk about is what?
Ragefire Chasm.
Okay.
Chasm.
Ragefire Chasm. If I remember correctly, it's roughly level 13 to 18, 13 to 20. It is located in the Horde capital city of Orgrimmar, so Alliance, don't think about it. You got to get there. There's a portal. It's way deep, kind of in this place called Cleft of Shadows that's inside of Orgrimmar.
You say 13, 18, 11?
Yeah, 13 to 18.
Okay.
Dude, it's low-level requirements, and it's pretty much a straightforward progression path. Really, really rudimentary and elementary mechanics. We call it RFC, for short for Ragefire Chasm. It's widely considered to probably be the easiest dungeon in the game.
Now, if you're looking at my screen on the video podcast, then you're going to see me. I'm on retail right now because it's just going to be easier for me to get there on my tune and retail. But as you can tell, I'm in Orgrimmar. There's a front gate. It hasn't changed much since vanilla, but you come down here to where the war chief usually is, and the quickest way is go to the left, or if you're Alliance, you want to run through, and this first spot you run through here, this is the only way you can get to it from Alliance, so you'll hardly ever probably see it as Alliance because you'll have to have a huge group running there with you.
Well, as it says, getting to Ragefire Chasm as an Alliance is extremely difficult. I mean, as he said, because it's in the middle of Orgrimmar. Yeah. Most players won't see the value in traveling there. I don't see the value in it at a low level, but if you like a good challenge, for an Alliance member anyways, to get there, you have to take a boat from Ratchet, and then you have to run to the northeast tip of the Barrens to find the western entrance of Orgrimmar. It's less populated entrance, and it's probably better than going through the main gates.
Yeah.
But have fun getting there.
Strip naked and just run.
Yep. I mean, but
make sure you have 4 of your friends go with you.
Yes.
Because you're going to need that group anyways. Make sure everybody's stripped naked and just run. You're going to die, just res and run.
Yep.
It'll take a while, but you can do it.
I mean, and it's so pretty much it's going to be the first dungeon that if you're a Horde player, it's going to be the first dungeon you come to.
Yeah. Now, once you get in there, of course, you'll want to put your clothes back on and get your tank started, get him healed up, blah, blah, blah. And then just fight your way to the first boss. And the first boss we're going to mention is Flint.
He is a level 16 elite Trog, and he's located in a small cave to the right of the large Trog room. So, it's not very hard to find. As I said, this is pretty much a straightforward area. It does have some turns and stuff in it, but you can only pretty much go one way.
Yeah. You
can clear out, and you'll see you're going the same. But he's a Trog. You've seen him before. You'll see him all over in that place.
Yeah, and he's flanked by 2 other Trogs.
Yeah. You'll pull. You'll want probably at the low levels like that. You'll want to have at least some sort of crowd control for at least one of them. That just allows your tank to pick up him and the other one that's going to come at you. Yeah. In this one, all your DPS should nuke down the first ad. Don't worry about the boss. Kill the first ad. And then switch to Ogleflin.
Yeah. Now, when you're running around this area, you also want to be mindful of the lava, because you'll be running down a hall, and all of a sudden lava will fill it up, and then it'll leave again. Then it'll fill it back up, then it'll leave again, like in waves.
Yeah, it's not too bad. I mean, don't stand in stuff is my thing.
Yeah, you don't want to stand in stuff anyways.
The only ability that Ogleflint has is Cleave. If you don't know what Cleave is, it inflicts the weapon damage plus 10 to an enemy and its nearest ally. Cleave only happens to the front. So if your tank is smart, he'll grab him and turn him away from the group. That way, if you have any other melee DPS, they can stand behind him and they don't get hit by Cleave.
You know what I can do? I didn't think about this. I can do this.
So that's pretty much his only ability. Not too hard to do. Not too. It's not that hard of a guy to kill. It's really actually a pretty fun first boss to kind of do. And
here's some of the lava I was talking about.
Oh yeah, he's showing you kind of the areas here which you'll fight on the way.
And I'm too high level for this.
Yeah, he's way too high level. I mean, he's way above anything in here.
This is Air Dog. Of course, this is retail, so it's probably way different.
Oh, it is. It scales your. I think it could be a little bit different, but excuse me. He's just kind of showing you a little bit of the first area here and kind of what it looks like. Now I know that thing is not in there.
Yeah.
In Classic.
I don't remember seeing that. I haven't been in here so long.
That's not in Classic, so it could be a little bit different. I'm sure it is.
Now there is some quests that you'll get as a Horde player for in here.
Yeah.
Now these might be different, like getting the Suspicious Rock. It might be different in vanilla. I'm sorry I'm showing retail, but it is what it is.
Mainly most of the loot that you're going to pick up off the boss, that first boss, is just going to be linen cloth.
Oh, here's the hallway that really will fill up.
Oh, yeah. See, this area fills up. Just kind of get get out of it.
I know not everybody's going to be listening to or watching the video, so I apologize now, but, we're not going to talk too much about the video that I'm showing. So, who's the next boss?
Next boss we're going to have is Taragaman the Hungerer. He is a level 16 elite demon.
This one shows Dark Shaman Kurenthal. So,
and he is located in the center of the X in the dungeon's second to last room.
Oh, I haven't made it through yet.
He does have his loot. As for the other, let's see here.
Dude, some of this loot is awesome. Retail's stupid right now, anyways.
But his abilities, this guy's are.
Is it Slagma?
No, it is Taragamon the Hungerer. That's totally different. His abilities are Fire Nova and Uppercut. Fire Nova, it just inflicts fire damage to nearby enemies. 20, it's like a level 20. I mean, it's a level 20, you gotta be level 20 or something like that for the spell. And then Uppercut, it inflicts normal damage plus 50 to an enemy, and it knocks you back. So, your tank is going to kind of take a knockback effect. Because so he's stationed in the middle of a platform surrounded by lava, pretty much. There's just an area right in the middle. There's lava all around him. You want your tank to pull him away from the edge of the platform, so Uppercut doesn't knock your tank into the off the platform and into the lava. And all of your ranged people want to be at max range, so you don't take the damage from Fire Nova. I mean, it's minimal, but you still want to take. You still don't want to take it, and it's pretty much a tank and spank.
Yeah.
If you can stay away from the Fire Nova, it's a tank and spank.
Some of the loot is a cloth wrist at level 13, a back piece, which is a level 13, that's got strength agility, and then a cursed fell blade, which is a main hand sword.
Yep, and that main hand sword is pretty nice because chance on hit reduces the target's enemy attack power by 15 for 30 seconds. So that's really nice. Loot's pretty good for what it is. For level 13, that's actually some really good loot. Anywhere from 13 to 20, that's really good loot.
Where Slagball was on the video, that's where the hunger is.
And
going off to the end.
Our next boss, well, he's kind of running. You can watch the video if you like. The next boss in Classic, of course, is Jurgosh the Invoker. Jurgosh the Invoker is a level 16 Orc Warlock, and he is located in the final room of RFC. He's going to be your final boss. Orc, of course. Who knows why you're killing an Orc? It's a Warlock. They don't like Warlocks because of their little magic that they used. His two abilities are going to be Curse of Weakness and Immolate. Pretty much Warlock abilities. Nothing too strange, fancy about him. The strategy for this guy's pretty simple. He's flanked by two mobs. CC one of the mobs, just like you would any, the first boss. He casts Immolate and Curse of Weakness, as I said. It can be a problem for tanks that are kind of trying to gain threat, but overall, it's pretty a straightforward fight. You kill the other ad, then you kill him, and then you kill your CC mob. So, I guess maybe he's not the last boss. He's close to the last boss.
Well, some of the loot on this one is a Mel wrist piece, which has got stamina and strength, so it's good for a tank. And it's level 13. Then the Robe of Evocation, which is a cloth chest piece. So it's got it and stamina both on it. It's level 13. And a Chanting Blade, which is a one-handed dagger, which is good for rogues and shamans because it's got agility and stamina. It's level 13.
Yeah. See, all this stuff so far is still level 13. I mean, great loot. Great loot for level 13. And I want to say the last boss in here is a dude named Baslin. He's a Satyr. He's level 16 Elite Satyr. He's located in the upper ramp towards the end of RC. So, depending on which way you go, he could be your last boss. He's got a couple of abilities, Sinister Strike. Now, these abilities are the same thing that a rogue has, because he's based on a rogue. So he has Sinister Strike and Deadly Poison. Strategy for this guy, like previous bosses in this dungeon, he's got two mobs with him. They all have two additional guys with them.
I gotta run out.
Now, the mob on his left can be pulled without engaging him, which reduces the difficulty of the fight. So, if you can grab the left one first, go ahead and grab the left one first. Then you can CC the other one, and you're only fighting the boss. He does deal significant seagull target damage, and he should be killed as soon as possible. Other than that, it's just straight up tank and spank.
And all he drops is linen cloth.
Yeah, his loot isn't anything good. It's just linen cloth.
Now, if you're a horde and you get the quest for it, then I think it'd be great just to run at least once when you're horde, because it gives you 5 quests, but of course you got to find them. And some of them are actually a part of a quest chain. So if you get the quest for it, and you got all 5 of them, might as well just go ahead and find a.
Oh yeah. You might as well do the quests. I mean, it's just extra XP for you, and it gives you a chance to get into a dungeon and kind of get acclimated as to what a group can do. Because you're going to be in a 5-man, and so they're pretty easy.
Goliaths can't even get to a dungeon till they're 18. When your horde, you got 13 and 15. You got 2 of them before you even hit 18.
Yep.
Of course, Goliaths can get to the level 15, but we'll talk about that one next. Before they even hit them mines, but a lot of the ones that you create are actually over in the Azeroth. Yeah.
Some of the horde, they're like hidden enemies, I guess you could say for them. It's one of the, I guess hidden enemies is one of the quests. And it just kind of gives you, you get a few different things from it. So they're all pretty decent as far as the rewards that you can get from doing them. So it's nice to do it. But the dungeon itself is pretty easy. It's not too hard. And as I said, and as he said both, you probably want to do it just to do it.
Yeah.
Especially as a horde. Because it's just fun, and it's nostalgic to me.
But, alright, that is it for this episode.
I hope you guys enjoyed it.
Yeah.
We'll have more episodes, and in each episode that we're going to do here, we're going to cover, like he said, we're going to cover an add-on, a class, and a dungeon.
For at least the next few episodes, we're going to try to keep up with that. If you got any tips, you find us in game and tell us what you think, and have fun playing the game.
Oh yeah, enjoy.